Yeah, Jackie, I mentioned at the start of the podcast, you've been a Celtic player, a Celtic captain, a manager in Scottish football, a football agent, so you know the ins and outs. But sometimes we forget that you're also a football fan, and I think it's refreshing to hear someone who's been involved at all levels of football kind of coming out and defending the fans to say, yeah, it's unfair if they don't know what's happening with their club, and so that's much appreciated to hear because it's a bit of positivity in
No,
at a very negative
I
time.
think it's like anything else. The fans pay their money. They're the most important bit. If there's no fans, there's no football club, and that's been shown. It's fans arguing with each other or it's there. As I said, it's not entitlement. It's not. Everybody knows that the success has been there the last number of years and how the club is transformed. Um, but they just want to keep moving forward. They don't want to just right. That's because it's history now. Same as my time at the club. That's all in the past. It's in the history books. You've got to keep moving forward. You've got to keep evolving. You've got to keep moving, getting players, getting the best right players. Players are. It's difficult, yeah, because you're competing with you know massive leagues and massive money. Players can go to Saudi Arabia. They can go to England. It's a better league. It's more different attractions for players, and it's difficult for Celtic to attract certain types of player but then they get these players, and then they tell them, yeah, it's a stepping stone from because it is. Maybe 20, 30 years ago it wasn't, but the gulf just now is showing there. It is very difficult for Celtic and most teams in Scotland to compete at the high elite level. As I said last year, Celtic were doing very well and punching above their weight a little bit. But it's just trying to find that place where it's yeah, we all know that the fans like when players go, when Kyogo goes, these guys, if they're doing well, they outgrow the club in terms of what they can generate because it's a short career and they'll go down to England or go to Saudi Arabia or go wherever. But that's where they have to have replacements. They've got to let them in. I always thought that Celtic should have a feeder club. Like most clubs are doing now. They have multi-club, so you can put your manager there, and for the future, you can put your players there to see how they handle it. You know, in different leagues, European leagues. As a club, we should be expanding and getting bigger. Because the Celtic brand is still high, but um, if you just focus on one little bit there, you look at all the teams there that have different teams. You look at Chelsea just went and took one of their feeder clubs. They took their manager. That should be the model that Celtic should have, in my opinion, for things like this. That young coaches bringing through or young players bringing through strikers. Right, right. Let's go because that way that's the end game. To help the club.